Hello, everybody. Sunday Adelaja here. Good morning, everyone. Okay, we have the first person here, Peter Yodele, Kennedy Festus, Nanon Adebayo, Bosse Fayajiola, Daniel Oshoma, Epokwola, Shegun Fatuma, Shigon Wafo. Good morning, everyone. How you are doing today? Ojekwa Israel, Rochelle White, Adeshade Shitu, looking very sharp as usual. Thank you. Patricia Karimi, Oluwaseyi, Ola Martin, Susan Ubano, Glory Bai, Kate Imwedeme, Samuel Peters, John Peters, Maranatha Mas, She Sandra, Zenas Miki, Ireti, good morning, Shinwe Ananaba, Yomi Jegede, Victoria Adams, Felix Juyon, Bakari Ayodeji, Fumi Adewusi, Duga Prasad, Flair Karin Matip, Chris Nanai, Obio Jimadu. Good morning, Eslin, Ezeko Murphy, Williams Shindaba, Shashal Ubuntu, Elizabeth Ali, Anne Amusi, Shigo. What did she say? Good morning and thank you. Okay, so the whole family, right, for the birthday greetings. Aline Paradise, Stella Nuhu, Anastasia McDonald, Richard Eberiga, that's the man of God from Texas, Olayinka Sheun, Paul Eric, Omolade Taye, Ojuolakwe Martins, Kehinde Agoro, Dennis Izo, Johnny Matson. Well, as you are coming in, let's quickly go and share the link. You just need to press the share button. If you share the link, then you'll be able to have a copy. You'll be able to have a copy of this message on your timeline. So the way for you to get a copy, because you might want to repeat or to listen to the message again, and the way to go about that is for you to share the link. So please go ahead and share the link to this message, and then it will be, the message will come automatically to your place. It will come automatically to your to your timeline. So let's share the message and we'll be ready to go. Let's share the message and we'll be ready to go. Okay. Right. Another wonderful day. We still continue to preach on faith. Faith. This whole week we've been talking about faith. And today we're continuing. The message of today is faith to confront fear. Faith to confront fear. Faith to confront fear. That's the message we are handling today. Faith to confront fear. You know, fear is a real life situation and our daily life reality. And there is just no way to escape the threat of fear. the danger of fear, and the reality of fear. There is just no way to escape the reality of fear. So, all of us, there is no human being that will say he has never confronted fear in his whole life, and that fear had never attacked him. All of us are attacked by fear. All of us have, the tendency to fear. So as a result of that, we need to learn to confront fear. We need to learn to confront fear. We need to learn to be able to deal with fear. On daily basis, there will be attacks, and there will be reasons why we think we need to be careful or fear, or just the reality of the fear attack is always there. The reality of fear is always out there, and we must learn to deal with it. We must learn to deal with it. If we don't deal with fear, fear will deal with us. If we don't deal with fear, fear will deal with us. And that's why we are talking about that today. So the scripture I'm using is Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11:27. Hebrews 11:27. By faith, talking about Moses, by faith he, Moses, forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king. By faith, Egypt forsook, Moses forsook Egypt, not fearing. By faith, Moses forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king. As I'm talking right now, I can sense that there are individuals and there are people right there that are still living under one kind of fear or the other. I want to ask you that question. What is the fear that is present in your life right now? What is it that you are afraid of? What is it that you are fearing? What is it that you are scared of? Are you afraid of losing your husband? Are you afraid of losing your wife? Are you afraid of losing your children? Are you afraid of losing your ministry? Are you afraid of losing your influence, your reputation? Are you afraid of, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of not having financial means to be able to take care of yourself, to be able to manage your affairs? Are you afraid you'll not be able to make it? Are you afraid that your old age will be bad? Are you afraid of failure? Are you afraid of, what are you afraid of? What is it that you are really afraid of? There are different kinds of fear. Are you afraid of death? Are you afraid of sickness? Are you afraid of people? Are you afraid, for yourself? There are some, as I'm talking right now, it is possible there are some form of fear that someone is going through as I'm talking right now. And you need to examine yourself, look into yourself and see what is that fear? What is that thing that you are afraid of? What is that thing that you are afraid of? Now, if you find that you actually have one fear or the other, then you need to listen to this. But before you could be able to deal with your fear, you must identify your fear. You must identify it. You must be able to acknowledge it and be truthful to yourself and tell the truth that, yes, I've got this fear. I've got this fear, and I must deal with it. So now, in this particular situation, we could see what Moses could be afraid of. So the fear was identified, and the fear of Moses was the threat coming from the king, coming from Pharaoh. And so his fear was more than the fear of public opinion. It's not just fear of the public opinion of Egypt, but the fear of the king. Can you imagine when you offend the king? The king controls the security system, the king controls the police, the king controls the military, the kings can do anything to you. The king has, especially at that time, the kings had absolute power, absolute authority. The king could do anything against you, anything that they want against you. The king could kill you, no consequences. I mean, nothing will happen. They could just destroy you, like today in some places as well. The king has absolute power. So you don't want to offend someone that has absolute power. You don't want to offend someone who has absolute power, because if somebody has absolute power, the person will not be questioned no matter what they do. And that is the kind of situation that Moses found himself in. He found himself, at a loggerhead with the ruler of the land, with someone that had absolute power that could do anything against him. So, but he needed to escape. And some people know the right thing to do, but they would never be able to do it. And that's like in this particular situation, that is the kind of fear and another lesson that we could learn from Moses. Because, even as you are looking at me right now, you are facing the same situation as Moses faced. Moses faced the choice of doing the right thing or being caved in by fear and staying back. So, he knew he needed to escape Egypt. He knew he needed to leave Egypt and escape for his life. And some of you who are listening to me now, you are somewhere, you are at a location or in a country whereby where you know that you are supposed to have been leave that country. You are supposed to leave that job, or you are supposed to leave that particular situation where you are in, but you don't have the boldness to do it. You don't have the audacity to do it. You don't have you don't seem to have the confidence to be able to do what is right. And so it seems to be so easy when you are looking at this scripture. Oh, by faith he left Egypt. Why did he need faith to leave Egypt? Why does he need faith to leave Egypt? Why do you need faith to do what is right? Why do you need faith especially to just leave one country to the other? Why do you need faith for that? Oh yeah, because for him to leave Egypt, there were so many consequences that were attached to that. So many consequences were attached to that decision. And the reason why you are afraid is not because of just leaving the place, but because of the consequences. You see, most things that frighten us is not the action we're supposed to take by itself, but the consequences of that action. The things we're afraid of, the things that will follow, and the things that we're afraid of losing control. We're afraid of the fact that we might not be in charge and we might not be in a position to control the consequences. We might not be in the position to manage the consequences. Now, so let's assume some of you are also in your form of Egypt. So let's say some of you are in one Egypt or the other, and you know that you are supposed to be leaving that place, just like Moses knew that he was supposed to be leaving Egypt. And you know you are also in a form of Egypt right now, and you know you are supposed to leave that Egypt and go somewhere else. But yet, you are not in a hurry to do that. You are not in a hurry to obey God. And the reason why you are not in a hurry is not because the time has not come yet, but because you think, what will happen if I do this? If I do this, I will not be able to survive. If I do this, my children will not go to school. If I do this, the other country where I'm going to move to, I don't know what to do there. If I do this, well, it might be legitimate that you have those fears, but what you need to do about those fears is to confront the fears. And for example, if you need to leave Europe or America for Africa, and you know that's what God is telling you, and you are afraid, okay, what will I do over there? Well, face your fear. Begin to make preparations. Begin to do some things that will make you to be ready to be able to survive when you get to Africa. Begin to put things in place. Begin to put infrastructure in place. Begin to put your amenities in place, the things that will help you to settle down there. So if there are some things that you are afraid of, that you are not well equipped yet to be able to take the right action, just face it and begin to do what you need to do. You don't need, if let's say you are afraid of leaving Europe or America for Africa, and you know that there is no place for you to live there, or there is no job for you to do there, or there are no provisions for you there, then go ahead and begin to put the provision in place. Go ahead and confront that and begin to look for a way to resolve it. But that doesn't mean that you just stay back perpetually and disobeying the leading of your spirit and disobeying the urge that you are having to do the right thing. So in that's just a little example. But in the case of Moses, things were tough. It was a much more difficult situation, because for him to leave Egypt, that means that he was actually denying and he was rejecting his choice as the prince of the land. Actually, that means he was rejecting the king. That means he was rejecting the choice of the king. That means he was rejecting the daughter of the king. That means he was rejecting the place and the standing that he had in the society. That means he was rejecting, the land, and he was going to reject the country, the city, the country that brought him up, and the palace where he grew up, and he was going to reject all his friends. He was going to reject all his family. He was going to be on his own. So a lot of things were connected with Moses leaving Egypt. So that's why he needed faith to do that. And it says by faith, he needed a great amount of faith. And besides that, he had the fear of death as well. If he would leave Egypt, if he would take that decision, the consequences is that there will be a death penalty on his head. And that's exactly what happened. There was a death warrant that was issued against him. And he was declared a fugitive. And he was declared wanted. And so the whole security system of the country were against him and were looking for him, for his head. So I don't think there's any decision that I and you will take today that will warrant a death penalty on us. And I think our own is not as serious as that of Moses. So that's why Moses needed faith. And if Moses needed faith to leave where he was, so you also need faith to take the right decision that you need to take. Now, the fear that Moses was confronting was about leaving Egypt. I don't know what fear you are confronting. Maybe you are in the wrong relationship. Maybe you need to take that decision to just let it go and leave that relationship. Maybe you are in the wrong job. Maybe you are locked up in the wrong occupation, the wrong job. Maybe you need faith. You need to take the decision to leave that job. So whatsoever the fear that you are confronting, whatsoever the fear that you are having, this message is supposed to give us the boldness, the equipping and the equipment to be able to confront our fears and to be able to do what is right. So the Bible says, by faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king. Not fearing the wrath of the king. So what am I supposed to do to make me not to fear consequences? What am I supposed to do not to fear the wrath, the anger of things that could destroy me, or the consequences of what could destroy me? What is it that I can do? What can I do to insulate myself from the pressure of fear, from the pressure of public opinion, from the pressure of family, relatives, from the pressure of dangers, from the pressure of loss, from the pressure of poverty, and from the pressure of economic survival? What can I do to confront my fears? What is it? How can I confront my fear? What is the fortitude that I must build? What are the things that I must do to be able to confront my fear? Well, the first thing I said, already, is that you go to the root of your fear. The second thing that I've mentioned already is, after going through the root of your fear, make the right preparations. Like I said, if you want to go where you are to go to Africa, for example, make sure that you put the right steps in place. Make sure that you do the right preparation, and prepare and do what you need to do to make sure that you have done your own part. Do your own due diligence. Do your own due diligence. So the fact that you have faith does not mean that you don't do your due diligence. Faith will always demand action. Faith will always demand action. So let's say you want to leave your job right now. A lot of people say that is faith when they leave their job. They leave their jobs and just say, okay, God said I should leave my job, so I leave my job. I don't think that is faith. I think that's a little bit of foolishness. Because what you should do is, I feel I must leave my job, as God is saying I must leave my job. Then begin to work. So what you are expecting is, I'm leaving my job because I want to do something else. So the faith, real faith is, you must see what you want to do. Because so many people, they leave their jobs and say, so what are you going to do now? I don't know. But that's not faith. You see, faith must produce evidence. And when you have evidence, you know that is evidence. You don't say, I don't know. No, and faith must produce substance. So when you are acting by faith, there must be some substance that you are producing to say, this is the proof that I'm actually acting in faith. So let's say God is saying you should leave your job. And what that means is that you are leaving that job by faith. Leaving that job by faith means I am seeing what follows after I leave my job. After I leave my job, I'm not seeing the thing physically, but in the spirit realm, in my eye of faith, I am seeing something. I'm hoping for something, because faith, therefore, now faith is the substance of things hoped for. So you are hoping for something. You must be able to point at the hope that you have. You must be able to tell me why, if you leave your job, what is your hope? You must be able to point me at that hope. You must be able to define that hope. Then when you have the hope in front of you, you must also be able to tell me you must also be able to show me the substance of that hope. So let's say you are saying you are going to have your own business. That is your hope. But what are the substance you are producing? The substance are the things that you are producing right now. What are the things that you are doing right now that will definitely take you between where you are right now to that hope? So what are the movements that you are creating that will take you to that hope? Or what are the actions that you are taking that will gradually move you towards that hope? What are the things that you are doing right now that will guarantee you and give you the assurance that you will definitely get to that hope, that you are approaching that hope, that you are moving towards that hope? What are the things that you are doing? What are the evidence you are producing? Because faith is also the evidence of things not seen. Yes, you have not seen the future job that you are going to have, or the future business that you are going to build, or the future thing that you are going to have, but you must have it in your mind or in your spirit eye. You must be able to see in the spirit or in the future into that thing that you want to do next. And then you must be producing evidence on a regular basis. There must be an ongoing action, an ongoing activity that you are engaged in that will take you and that will land you in that particular unseen future that you are moving towards. So it's the evidence of things not seen. There is something that everybody is not saying, but that you are saying, and that I believe that in the case of Moses, when God said that it is that by faith he forsook Egypt, he was definitely saying something. And one of the things he was saying is that he would not be caught. One thing he was saying is that God will protect him. One thing he was saying was that God will make a way for him. One thing he was saying is that he had some assurance in him. He was saying something invisible. He was saying something, something that he hoped for. He had this great hope, and towards that hope he acted. So and his action was that he actually departed. He actually left. So that was a substance that he was producing. The fact that he actually left, he actually took the risk, that was the evidence that he had hope. That was the evidence that he had something he was expecting. That was the evidence that he had a goal, a target in front of him that he was moving towards. So the same thing, when we're talking about leaving the country where you are right now to go to live for Africa or to live to another place, you don't just say, oh, God said I should leave, and then God will take care of it. And everybody is asking you, what are you planning to do? What are your plans? What are your vision? Oh, well, I don't know. God knows. No, that is not faith. That is foolishness. So there is a big difference between faith and fantasy. There is a big difference between faith and illusion. Faith always produces action. That's why James says that faith without action is dead. Faith without action is dead. And the action you produce, the action you take is the evidence, or the action will give us the evidence of what you are walking towards or what you are approaching. The action you take will produce some substance. The substance that will make us to believe you that yes, you are actually acting right and that you are going to attain your goal. You are going to attain your target. Like for me, for example, God told me about Nigeria. Can you imagine me being in Russia here? I've been here for 30 years. I look young, but I'm not as young. I'm an old man. I'm not old, not too old, but I'm not as young. I'm an old guy. I am 50. I'm 50 in May. This coming May, I'm going to be 50. So I've been here for 30 years. Can you believe it? I've been here for 30 years. 30 years in Europe. I don't have anything almost, apart from my relatives. I don't have anything in Africa. I don't have a house. I don't have a car. I don't have a land. I don't have anything. So, I never thought I would ever go back there. I thought maybe I would visit, but I never thought I would ever go back there. I thought I would die here and be buried here. But now the Lord came to me and told me to go back. And to go back means that I don't just pack my load and just say, okay, I go back, I leave, because God said. The first thing I needed to do when God says go back is that I needed to sit down and calculate and make calculations. And why is that important? That is important because Jesus himself, God himself said, if you want to go and build a tower, that you must first sit down. And building a tower is, going to engage on any assignment. If you want to engage yourself in any assignment, you need to first sit down. And Jesus also said, if you want to go against, if a king wants to go against another king in war, you want to go on a battle, you want to go on a war against another king or another territory, you must also sit down and make calculations. So some people will think that sitting down and counting the cost and doing your comparative analysis, that is not faith. That's not faith. But really, that is faith. Faith does not negate logical calculations. Faith does not negate the use of your mind. Faith does not negate calculations, analysis, research. Faith does not negate common sense. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Faith does not remove common sense. Faith does not eliminate common sense. It does sometimes, but it does only after you are already having your evidence or your substance. Faith is not blind. Faith is not blind. So this is Jesus telling us this, the very author of our faith, the very person who gave us our faith in the first place. So Jesus knows what he's doing. So if I need to go to Africa, it means that I must calculate, I must count the cost, and I must calculate and know exactly what I will be. I must see, not just calculate, but actually be able to see the picture of what I'm about to do and what I'm going to do over there. And besides that, I must also have some action, some substance that I am producing. I must also have some evidences that we are proving that God is actually sending me there. I must have some evidence that I'm producing to prove and to show that what I'm saying is true. I must produce some evidence that will show me that I stand a good chance to make it over there. That there is that I'm not just jumping in the blind. Okay, like for example, when Jesus told Peter to walk on the water and to come to him. Many people think, okay, jump in water, that means, you just jump from the boat into the water without any substance. There was a substance there, the substance and the evidence of him walking on water with the role of faith. You say he was supposed to walk on water, and we know if you walk on water you sink or you swim. But for him to walk, that means he must be standing on something, or he must have some argument to prove that I will not sink. He must have some argument to tell him that I will actually walk. So what is that evidence? What is that substance that he had? Just for you to know that faith is not totally blind, and it shouldn't be blind. So in the case of Peter walking on water, faith is actually the ability, first of all, to see. Faith will always see, because faith is the substance of what you are hoping for. So you have a hope in front of you. The hope that he was seeing is that he was seeing himself walking. That is the hope. But what is the substance? What is the evidence? That is the thing he has not seen yet, but he must produce the evidence. What is the substance? What is the basis of him walking on that water? Is it just because he has the desire? Is it just because he sees himself walking? He must have something to base it on, the substance that is going to work. And the substance that Peter had in this case is the word of the Lord. The word of the Lord. He had to base his action on something. And within this case, what he was basing his action on was he was seeing first Jesus. Jesus was also walking on water. That is one evidence. That is one substance that he could base his own faith on. So he could see Jesus also doing the same thing. The fact that Jesus is walking on water as well is a substance that he could hold on to, that if he could walk on water, I can walk also. But then the second substance that he had, the second evidence of his faith that really gave him the courage to step out of that boat, is that he didn't just see Jesus walking on water and said, I will do the same thing. No, even though that is a big enough or good enough substance for him, but he needed some more evidence for him to take that action. And what he did was, he asked Jesus, should I come? He wanted to get an evidence. He wanted to get a substance that he should step on, and that he could stand on, that his faith could rest on. So what your faith rests on is that substance. It is that substance that your faith will rest on. It is that evidence that you are producing that your faith will rest on. That is the thing that is giving you the assurance that you could actually get to what you are saying. That is the thing that is giving you, on what basis you are basing your assurance that yes, you can do what you are talking about. So, and then Jesus told him, that yes, come walk. So that is the faith. That is what it was. It's not that Peter was crazy. It's not that Peter was just crazy and just mad and he was just doing something supernatural. That he was just acting by faith. And faith must have both hope and evidence. Hope and substance. Not something that is invisible and the evidence. So he had the hope that he saw himself walking like Jesus walked. And then he had the substance. He had the word of the Lord that walk, come here. So that's why he could walk like that. The same thing with you. If you understand faith like that and be able to, put things in place like I'm explaining to you now, you will discover that faith is not something mystical. Faith is not something, something crazy. Faith is not blindness. Faith walks with common sense. And that is wisdom as well, because faith is a manifestation of wisdom. And the Bible says in the book of Proverbs, that's the wisest man on earth, right? Solomon was saying that a wise man, a wise man starts everything. A wise man starts all his enterprises with knowledge. So a wise man starts all enterprises, begins his enterprises with knowledge. A wise man does not start any deal. A wise man does not start any enterprise, any project without, first of all, having some form of knowledge, without preparation, without planning, without knowledge. So if you are really wise A wise man will first of all gather his evidence. A wise man will first of all see where he's going. A wise man will first of all do his calculations. A wise man will first of all, do what he needs to do his own assignment, like Jesus said. A wise man will first of all sit down and make calculations of his strength before he goes against the other king. A wise man will first of all sit down and calculate his resources before he starts to build that tower. That is faith. And we could not say that faith doesn't have, anything to back it up. No, faith must have substance and faith must have evidence. So that is in the case of Peter, and I think that's a good illustration. Let me give you another illustration. There was another situation that happened in Mark chapter 4 when Jesus was rebuking his disciples, and he told them, "O ye of little faith, why do you wake me up? That you are sinking. Why do you wake me up?" Yeah. Now, to me, I used to think, my God, Jesus is too harsh. It doesn't look too just. This doesn't look too just to me. What should they do? What should they do? That these people you told them that let's go to the other side on the boat. They entered the boat with you, and here they are, and they were in the midst of the storm. And the storm was so heavy, and the boat was about to sink, and they did just the natural thing. They did what every one of us would have done. They shouted and started screaming and then woke you up because you are the one who set them up on that journey. And then they know you are the miracle worker, that you are going to, do something with that crisis, and that you are going to, stop that crisis, and you are going to get them out of there. And Jesus was frustrated. Jesus was he was very dissatisfied. He was very angry at them. Jesus got very frustrated at them, at the fact that they woke him up. And I was saying, okay, this is not fair. This doesn't look fair to me. This doesn't look fair to me. I was thinking, this is not fair, Lord. This is not fair. This is not fair. How could you rebuke them? How can you rebuke them? I don't get it. How can you rebuke them? They were doing the right thing. They were in danger for real. They were in real danger. How can God rebuke them? How can Jesus rebuke them? That you are of little faith. I've been with you for so long. You are always doubting and all that. You of little faith. And God was. Is it because I was thinking? Is it because they broke his peace or his comfort? Is it because they disrupted his sleep? Is it because they, what could this be? It is now that I discover. It is, as I grew up in the Lord, as I kept on reading that scripture and meditating on it, that I got to discover why Jesus actually rebuked those people, why he rebuked his disciples. It's not because he was, that he was so narcissistic, that he was so mindful of his own pride or of his own ego, that he didn't want them to wake him up while he was asleep, or he didn't want them to disturb him. No, it was not because of that. He was actually telling the truth. Jesus was telling the truth. He woke them, he rebuked them that they didn't have faith, or they had little faith, because, it was justified. It was justified. They were not proving to him that they had been with him. They were not proving to him that they had faith. Because what happened was, remember, what is faith? Faith is the hope that has substance. Faith is the hope. Now, Jesus set them out in that hope, and he told them, let us go to the other side. So we have a goal, we have a hope, we have a vision, we have a goal, we have an aspiration. The aspiration is where we are going. We know where we are going. We are going to the other side. That is hope. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. We have not seen ourselves there yet on that other side, but at least we have hope. We know where we are going to. We have a goal, we have a target. We have a goal, we have a target, we have a hope that we are going to be on the other side, right? So what is the evidence and what is the substance of that hope? And why did Jesus rebuke them? Because Jesus didn't just cast a vision before them without giving them a substance. Jesus didn't just cast a vision before them without giving them a hope. Jesus told them and said, let us move to the other side. Let us go to the other side. What is the substance? The substance is the integrity of Jesus. The substance is the integrity of the person who said we are going to get to the other side. So if God, the owner of the universe, your master, your savior, if he is telling you that the goal, the target is to be in the other side, what makes you to think that something could stop him? What makes you to think that something, could nullify his word? Nullify his word. What do you think? Why do you think that his word will back out? Why do you think that his word could be nullified? Why do you think that the storm will nullify his word? Why do you think that the wind will nullify his word? Why do you think that the circumstances will nullify his word? Why do you think that his word will back out? Why do you think that his word will lose its power? Why should you think that his word will fail? Why do you think that he is not smart enough to have envisioned and seen all the danger coming? Why do you think that the storm will sink his word? He has given them the evidence, and the evidence is the integrity of his word. The evidence is the assurance that he gave them. The evidence is the fact that he told them, we are going to the other side. He didn't say we are going to the sea. He didn't say we are going to the ocean. He didn't say we are going to the middle of the river. He didn't say we are going to the middle of the sea and the ocean. He didn't say we are just starting inside it. He didn't say we are going inside the river or something. He said we are going to the other side. Other side, that means that we are coming out of the water. Other side means that we are coming out of the river. Other side means that we are going to touch the ground. We are going to the other side. So why do you wake me up when we are not in the other side yet? Why should you wake me up when you have not even waited for us to arrive yet? When I have given you, I've told you we are going to be in the other side. So what's your problem? Why should you disturb me? Why should you panic? Why should you raise the noise when you are not? Wait, what is your problem? I told you we are going to the other side. So you don't believe my substance that I give you. You don't believe my own evidence. So you don't have any faith in me or in my integrity. So you don't think my word means anything. So you don't think that my integrity means anything. You don't think my name means anything. So you have more faith in nature than you have in me, the creator of that nature. So you have more faith in circumstances than in the one that ruled over that created those circumstances and that has given you his integrity. So you are so used to me now, familiar. You are so familiar with me. Your familiarity with me has so much nullify my integrity, my authority, the weightiness of my word. So you now believe in circumstances happening all around you than you believe in the word of the one that created all those particular circumstances. Now I understand the madness of Jesus, why he was so mad at them. Now I understand why Jesus was so cross at them. Now I understand that was foolish from their side. That in fact Jesus was even easy on them. It was even easy on them. Jesus was supposed to begin to slap every one of them and push them out of that boat, in fact, and push them into that river and just sink them and just get them out of there. But he was so full of self-control. He could control himself. So he didn't go to that extreme against those disciples. But it was so right. It was so justified to have rebuked them. You see. Besides that, Jesus gave them another evidence that they were going to go to the other side. Jesus told them, we are going to the other side. He didn't say we are going to perish here. And Jesus is not setting himself up for a suicide mission. So the other evidence that God is giving to these people is the fact that I am here with you. If there is going to be anything wrong, it means they have to sink me first before they sink you. It means the thing has to kill me first before it kills you. I am here with you. You should know that if I'm here with you, I didn't set you up on a suicide journey, on a suicide mission. You see, that is the problem. We, fear, we embrace fear more than we embrace faith. We embrace fear more than we embrace hope. We embrace fear more than we believe in the integrity of God. So sometimes we think that the things that we fear are stronger than the things that we don't see. But really, the invisible things are superior to the things that we see. The invisible things that we don't see, they are the ones that are permanent. The Bible tells us that the invisible things are constant. They are the ones that are forever. But the things that we see, they are temporary. So every visible thing that you see is temporal. The wind is temporal. The storm is temporal. Everything that you see, they are all temporal. But what is really there for forever, what is really real, that is going to stay, that is going to abide, that is going to keep on being there, is the thing that you don't see yet. That hope that you are looking up to, they are more real and they are more lasting and they are more tangible really than the things you are seeing right now. Because the things you are seeing right now are temporal, but the things that you are not seeing, the things that are invisible that you are looking up to, they are the ones that are coming to stay. They will take the place of those things that are temporal. But what is our problem? We normally fear the things that are temporal. We always fear the things that we see right now. We fear the things that we see. We look forward and we fear too much the things that are tangible, the things that are visible, the things that are, right now, the situation that we are in right now. They seem more real to us than the other situation that God is promising us and that God is putting before us. So this is where Moses prevailed, and this is where Moses triumphed. And let me tell you how Moses used this principle. Let's go back to Hebrews 11, to Moses, that he had the faith to overcome fear. Now you understand the reason, the way why we overcome fear is that we have hope that we are going to go to the other side. That hope, the invisible that we are expecting, should supersede, should superride, should override every temporary, every material, every physical thing we are looking at right now. The things that we don't see, they always come to take the place of the things that we see. The circumstances that we are right now, they are inferior. The things that we are seeing right now, they are inferior to the things that are not seen. So the hope that we are looking at in front, the things that we are seeing in the spirit realm, they are stronger than whatever situation and circumstances we have right now. If we have that faith is stronger. Faith in that thing that we are not seeing, faith in that future that we are not seeing, that is stronger than what we are seeing right now. You should always bear that in mind. The things that are invisible are stronger than the things that are visible, and the things that are invisible will come to replace the things that are visible right now. So for you to overcome the fear of the fear tendencies or the spirit of fear, you must see something. You must see the invisible that is coming to replace the visible. You must see the hope that is coming to replace the tangible. You must see the faith. You must see in faith something that everybody is not seeing, that is coming to take the place of the circumstance where you are right now. So that is what allows you to overcome fear. So you overcome fear by what you are seeing. It is just like Jesus. The Bible told us that it is because of the joy that is set before him that he overcame the fear of the cross. He was able to endure the cross. Why? He was seeing the invisible. The thing that you see in the spirit realm, the hope that you see, is what helps you to overcome the fear. So when Moses was living as well, he was seeing something. It is the thing that he is seeing in the spirit realm that is making him to overcome the fear of the temporary, of the now, of the visible, of the tangible, of the material, of the real life, of the circumstances where he is in. Number 2 thing that will allow you to overcome the spirit of fear is the evidence that has been given to you, or the evidence that you are producing. The evidence and the substance. Like I said, when Peter was walking on water, the hope was he saw himself walking. That is what is helping you to overcome the fear. Number two thing, the substance that he was given. The substance is he saw Jesus walking as well. Then the evidence is Jesus told him to walk. Jesus gave him the substance in his hand. Jesus gave him the evidence in there that he will walk. And the evidence that walk on water to me. He had the evidence. He had the evidence. He has the substance in his hand. So those substance of faith, they are stronger than the fear. Use your substance of faith to kill that fear. Use your evidence of faith to kill whatever thing you are afraid of. But it is easier for you to overcome your fear, the physical fear that you have, by making sure that spirit realm, you are aware and you are sure and you are confident that the spirit realm is always stronger than the material, physical realities that you are seeing right now. Okay, so I'm sure you got that right. Now let's see how Moses used this principle, how Moses adopted and activated this principle. Hebrews 11:27. Hebrews 11:27. Hebrews 11:27 says, by faith Moses forsook Egypt. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing. Now you know why he's not fearing. He saw something. He saw hope. He's seeing something in the spirit realm. Now, why is he not fearing? You know, he has some evidence. He has some substance. So those are the things that he used to kill the fear. So verse 27, Hebrews 11:27 say, if by faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king. What helped him? What insulated him from that fear? For he endured as seeing. You see, he was saying something. I told you he was saying something. I told you. You are getting it, huh? You are getting it, right? If you follow him, what I'm saying, you probably getting it. You see what happened? Why he was able to overcome the fear? Because he was able to go through. He was able to endure the situation. He was able to endure the circumstances. Endure the pressure. Because he was seeing. You know, faith is always seeing. Faith is always seeing in the spirit realm. Faith is always seeing something that other people are not seeing. He was seeing something. So until you see something, until you look forward to something, you don't have faith. Because faith is the ability to see hope in front. Faith is the ability to see goal, vision, purpose in front. Faith is the ability to see. But seeing is not enough. He must also still have some evidence. And of course, what he's seeing is good. He could use that to kill that fear. But besides that, he still needs other things like evidence, like substance, to use that to even kill that fear more. So let's keep on reading. Why Moses was able to leave Egypt and he was not afraid of the king. He was not fearing the wrath of the king. Why? For he was able to endure because he saw and he endured as seeing. You see? He was not just seeing something, he saw him who is invisible. God showed him himself and beckoned him. Just like he beckoned Peter. Come out. Come out. He was seeing not just his future. He was seeing not just himself. He was seeing not just, himself as a deliverer. He was seeing that also. He was seeing that he was a deliverer. Because how do I know that he was seeing himself as a deliverer? Because he was trying to even do that in his own might. He was trying to even deliver the children of Israel. You remember he killed an Egyptian trying to deliver the son of Israel the other time, because he was seeing himself as a deliverer. But that is not enough. Apart from seeing himself as a deliverer, he was also seeing something beyond that, evidence from God. Evidence from God. And God gave him a vision. God gave him evidence. God made him to see him ahead, beckoning to him. He was seeing the invisible one. He was seeing God that was encouraging him, that was giving him the encouragement and the liberty to move. So seeing him who is invisible is not seeing what is invisible in this case, but was seeing the Lord. He was seeing the Father. He was seeing the God himself. So that thing he was seeing, that evidence, that substance he was seeing, gave him the grace, the faith, the confidence to be able to come against all kind of fear and all kind of threat and all kind of circumstances. So, your faith is the ability not just to see in the future. Your faith is the ability not just to see the invisible. Your faith is to use that invisible to kill the fear of today. To use that invisible, unseen thing to kill the pressure of the things that you are being visible right now. You must be able to use what you are seeing to silence the things that are pressuring and clamoring, to kill you right now. And besides that, you must begin to do something to produce some evidence. You must begin to do something to produce some substance. So substance could be what you yourself are doing, that it gives you the assurance that you are going to attain what you are saying in front. It could be your work, your effort. It could be what you are producing. So the substance could be produced by you, but it must be calculated and it must be seen that there's a connection between what you are doing right now with the goal and the purpose that is invisible right now where you are going to. So that is the evidence you are producing to prove to us that yes, what you are seeing, you are going to get there. That is the substance. You must have some substance what you are doing to prove to us that what you are seeing in front, that's where you are going. Or sometimes you base that your thing that you are not seeing, the invisible thing, you base it on the substance of what God has given you. Maybe it's a word, maybe it's a promise, maybe it's a vision, maybe it's an assurance, but even after you've seen that vision, or even after Moses had seen the invisible Lord, he has seen the Lord beckoning him, he still had to do something. He still had to take the risk. He still had to produce his own evidence anyway. He still had to act. He still had to pack his load from the palace. He still had to gather his all stuff. He still had to risk and do something to be able to actually take action that he believes what he is seeing, and that he is able to confront the fear and actually overcome the fear by packing his things from the palace and actually leaving. He had to produce the evidence that he is believing in what he is saying. He has to produce the substance, and that's why he had to leave. He had to run away. He had to take the decision to run away. He had to actually, get his legs to the road and actually leave, and not being afraid that the whole army, the secret service, everybody are after him. So he had to do that. And not just the first time, he did that twice. He did that when he ran away when after, they declared him as fugitive. And then he had to do that again when he was delivering the children of Israel, and the whole army was running after him for real after that. But he had to do what he needed to do. So anyway, here we are. I hope you now got the key how to overcome the fear. You got the key how to overcome fear. Faith makes you to overcome fear, and that's why Jesus was rebuking his disciples and said, "You of little faith." Because you have the hope, you have the vision, you see the invisible, yet you are doubting. You saw the substance, yet you are doubting. You got the evidence, yet you are doubting. I hope that after this message, God will not need to rebuke you, that Jesus will not need to rebuke you, that you are of little faith. I hope from now on, you know how to suffocate your fear and how to kill your fear and how to live by faith and please God, because it is only through faith we can please God, and without faith you cannot please God. Now I believe that you now have what it takes, the faith to overcome fear. The faith to overcome fear. Well, I think you need to get a copy of this message for yourself. If you don't have a copy, if you have not shared this message, you need to go share the message. Go share this message now. so that you may be able to have a copy of this message. You need a copy of this message. All of us need a copy of this message. You need to listen to it over and over again until it becomes part of your life. So I want to encourage you, share the message right now. If you press the share button, it will automatically go to your page and you'll be able to listen to it over and over again. Well, you can't believe it. My time is up. My time is up. And then we are going to continue. I want to read your comments, definitely. I will read your comments. And here we go. Adesanya Abiodun Felicia. Thanks, Pastor. Thank you. Daniel Oshoma says, because the decree by Pharaoh was to kill all male child, by faith his parents took Moses and kept him by the bank of... Yep. Gladys says, too much wisdom, Pastor. You are too much, sir. Thank you. Princess says, yes, so we have the key now, right? Christy Bassi said, faith makes you to overcome fear, right? Adesanya says, faith makes you to overcome fear, right? Princess Gildov said, my greatest teacher, you are just too much. And you are still young. Oh. Thank you, Princess. Thank you. I appreciate that. Shigo says, my God, Pastor Sunday, you are really from another world. This is just too sweet to contain such wisdom. Thank you, Shigo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Regina says, thank you, Lord, for this word. Danielle says, God has shown him. Okay, commenting on what I said. Okay, Babatunde said, thank you, Jesus. Shigon Wafo, you make faith so practical. Faith used to be walking in the moon, with nothing to show. But now faith is become practical. Thank you, Shigo. Nediogo says, my pastor, more grace. Thank you. Princess Gildov said, oh my God, how I wish all these men of God would forget about offerings and teach the way you do. That's why we must spread the word. We must spread the word so that the word will go across. Nkiro Jimadu say, Pastor, don't make me feel old, though. You are still young. Okay, thank you. Victoria Adams said, this is Sunday service for me right here. I'm energized to hold on to faith with my whole being. Shinwe says, I believe we all need this kind of faith to face this ugly and wicked world. Olukemi said, my heart just blesses you this morning. Today's message was definitely meant for me. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you. Thank you. Layo Child says, I'm so blessed and saturated. I'm so blessed and saturated. Peter had something to hold on to, even as he jumped on that water. That illustration made it for me. Princess, my one and only best and greatest teacher of all time. So you are simply the best. Princess, you are saying so many good things about me that I want to see you. Are you planning to come for the HMT with your husband? Are you people planning to come to be here? I need to see you. You are totally sold out to Pastor Sunday, isn't it, Princess? Thank you so much for your very great words. You are just bringing them out from some well somewhere. Yes, it's very sure that you have discovered your pastor here. Thank you. Sandra says, after hearing this undiluted word of God from God's general, Pastor Sandra Delaja, who says I miss church. No, I don't. I don't at all. I'm having divine service here. I don't go to church, and I'm having the best service here in church. Good. Christina said, now I have sufficient evidence to suffocate and kill my fear. Thank you, Pastor. Our Faith Ogba said, thank you, Pastor Sunday, for creating a wisdom in me. Princess said, thank you so much, Pastor. Ezeko said, Pastor, you are a rabbi. That is good teacher. May God bless you. Thank you. Vivian Taylor said, awesome word. My faith is built up. You are such a blessing to the body. Feels like revival. Blessing to you, Pastor Sunday. Thank you. Mary Mugure, I'm getting sharper and wise with each word you give. I bless God for you. Thank you very much for another wonderful teaching. Bless you. That's comfy. Christy said, thank you, sir, for all your teachings. Again, here comes Princess. Trust, oh Pastor, I will tell the fear that my faith and hope, and I know now more than ever. Nkiru Ojimadu says, you make the word so real, sir. I have to see and start doing something to prove it. Peter Ayodele said, I will definitely be your partner in Nigeria, but I still need to plan how to relocate back to Nigeria. Daniel says, thank you, sir. This is the message. Yvette says, God is really leading you, Pastor. Thank you for the key. Regina Desagler, glory. Man of God, where can I get your blog? Your messages are just blessings to me. My blog, just go to Google and type www.sundayadelajablog.com. That's it. My name, and put the word blog there, then .com. That's it. And you'll see all my messages there. Joseph Oyewale said, thanks a million times. Great and awesome message. You are highly appreciated, sir. Exceptional display of wisdom from above. Julie Itchins, hi, Pastor. God bless you from USA. They done. Great message, Pastor. Akimbawale Sunday, perfect love casted out fear. If we love God so much that we always see him with us, we will live above fear and produce more fruit. That's right. Paul Good News says, Pastor Sunday, a man of faith is a dangerous man. You are a dangerous man. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Prudence say, thank you, Pastor. You too much wisdom. I'm upgraded, Pastor. Blessings, sir. Emmy Bobby say, thank you so much, Pastor Sunday. God bless you in abundance. I am blessed with this message. I'm very, very happy today. Daniel at Senga says, Pastor, thanks for another wonderful message. Bright Shibu is a faith in God's word makes us to overcome fear. Thank you, Pastor. Fear is eliminated forever. Gladys, too much wisdom, Pastor. You are just too much. Shioma says, dear Pastor, your latest teachings are not on the blog. Oh, they will be there soon, but you can get them on the on YouTube right now, but they will be there on the blog soon, very soon. Katia, you need to blog. Na another should be blog. Ya je pasela olude ni na YouTube. Потому что на YouTube она отвлекает людей на слишком много разных. They are going to be on the blog soon. So check it out today or tomorrow. They will be there. Glory Bay said, thank you so much, Pastor, for another mind-blowing message. Paul Eric Gildorf, I think that's the husband of Princess Gildorf, said, thank you, Pastor, for your practical teaching on faith and hope. It stirs up my faith and encouraged me to take action. Davida said, where are you based, Daniel? And okay, that's not for me. What do you do? Paul Eric and I have always admired you until he met you in person and he fell more in love with you. Yeah, that is what Princess says about the husband. Lanon Adebayo said, we've been taught wrongly over the years about faith, but now I learned about the substance of my hope, the integrity of God's word. Oshuko said, thanks, Pastor, for this wonderful teaching about faith. God bless you, sir. Kennedy Festus, today's service, Sunday service here was awesome. More grace, sir. Paul Ori Ade, your level of grace is deeper and encouraging, sir. Keep the great work, sir. Daniel Oshoma, for your flights and logistics to Nigeria, contact me if Pastor gives me the go-ahead. Yeah, why not? Why not? Do your job. Shioma says, thanks, Pastor, for helping us see faith in a new dimension, not just faith to receive, which has been the teaching for many years. Shashal say, your faith I will follow. Princess says, yes, oh Pastor, we are coming to visit you in October by God's grace. Is it October or November? Our HMT is in November, Princess. Not in October, but November. So the HMT is from the 6th to the 12th of November. From the 6th to the 12th of November. From the 6th to the 12th of November. So November, it is November. Daniel Oshoma says, Pastor, you always provide a solution, not theory. Thank you for making Christianity sweet. Peter Ayodele says, I have a big vision like you, and I'm always in the spirit with you. I always teach my people about invisible and how to bring the gold out of them. Right. Paul Ohanyere said, I have had and read a great deal about Sunday Adelaja and about the work he is doing. All those who do great things go through attacks such as he is going through. Yeah, that's what Bill Gates said about me. Davida said, the vision of the future needs to be stronger than what it is. You are addressing a lot of the questions going on in my mind. Right. Shinwe, you have just gingered my faith. Thank you, Pastor. You are the best. Thank you, Shinwe. Anastasia says, Pastor, your messages always say, here is how to do it. Here is the way to go. Here is the path. Thank you so much, Pastor Sunday. Have faith, Ogba said, you made my day, Pastor. Nkiro Jimadu said, Pastor, okay. Okay, Princess says, I know, Pastor, that the HMT is in November, but Paul Eric, that's the husband, is working in November. So I might come in November, but it will come in October. Or you can come together in October anytime. I will be available anytime. The only thing is that in November, that's when the training will be. But if you come not in November, in October, it's okay too. Only, we just fellowship. We just spend time with me. You also always learn from anyway, even if you just come in October when there is no HMT. Flair Karim Matip says, Pastor, you are one of the rare leaders who doesn't put fear in people, but instead you help them to get rid of their apprehensions and fear. Maria Tia Saintil, thank you again for your time and your support. May God bless you and protect you for the rest of your life. Thank you. Patricia Agbino says, God bless you, sir. They have been teaching us to fear the enemies instead of the pure love of God that eradicates fear. Yeah, it's a pity. Davida says, Pastor Sunday, your message addressed questions going on in my mind. Okay, I read that. Obiora said, you are a great blessing to this generation. My cousin Frank Obeta talks about the great work you've done. Wow. Yeah, he's been with me. And you look alike with him too. Shashal said, a leader like you is a dream too good. It's a dream too good to be true. Nigeria is blessed. Thank you. Ade Oladisu said, this is Kingdom Lifestyle 101, the way to operate on earth. Ojo Olakweta, and thank you so much, Pastor. Your teaching is moving me from one level of practical faith to another. Princess, I see you, my one and only greatest teacher and mentor. Thank you so much. Isaac Honor, without faith, it's impossible to please God. Also, without faith, it's impossible to come out of your comfort zone. Princess says, and of course, Paul Eric's mentor too. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. And it's time to go now. Our time is over, and we'll see you tonight. Thank you. God bless you. Bye.